Let us remember that time of old. We will all appreciate that things were a lot quieter then. We will recall that we could hear then. We remember the story of the green apples and pears. How great it was to be a green apple. How unfortunate to be a pear. But are they all not fruit, you ask? Yes, indeed. But these, sadly, are the ways of our world. We remember that then it was thought that there was no reason for them to grow on separate trees. They were so similar, and yet so different. How beautiful it was to see one grow alongside another. But the green apples grew bold, while the pears were unaware. The green apples grew proud, while the pears were unaware. The green apples grew evil thoughts, while the pears were unaware. It was only after much growing had been done that the pears awoke. Of course, we will all appreciate that by then it was too late. We recall how many pears were found smashed against the stony earth. We recall their stems bent and broken. We remember the deep bruising, the ruptured flesh, the oozing. But worse, we remember those pears that lay in the dirt and did not bruise or ooze at all. We cried for those pears. We cried because we knew that those were the young whose flesh had never reached ripening, but had been yanked off the tree all the same by the bold, proud, and evil green apples. But are they all not fruit, you cry, of the same tree? Yes, indeed. But these, sadly, are the ways of our world. But do we recall the day a pear tore off a pear from the green apple and pear tree and threw it against the rock? We had been told that this pear had developed differently, without the long neck that was common to pears, and with a fuller and rounder lower body. Of course, this was nothing new to us, or to the pears, and perhaps to some of the green apples, for fruit often took on strange forms. When the pear tore off a pear from the green apple and pear tree and threw it against the rock, there grew a wild commotion in the tree. The woman wailed, and the men swore to capture and kill the traitor pear. For who had ever heard of such a thing? A fruit attacking one of its own? We will all appreciate that things were a lot quieter then, and these things we could hear with our own ears. The traitor pear, sensing his life was in danger, ran before the king of the green apples and begged for his protection. "I am a green apple, my king," the pear pleaded. "Do I possess the long neck that is common to those worthless pears, and their raindrop-shaped body? No, my king. I am a green apple, born from and raised by a green apple. I only killed that pear to help rid our tree of those parasitic pears. Please, my king, grant me your protection." And so a pear became a green apple. But it is the workings of the world that things will grow, and grow they did. With time, the traitor pear grew the neck that was common to pears, but the traitor pear was unaware. With time, the traitor pear grew a raindrop-shaped lower body that was common to the pears, but the traitor pear was unaware. We remember that day, because it was after that day that it was thought better that pears and green apples should grow on separate trees. We remember the day, because the sky was clearer than it had ever been. It was on this day that the traitor pear decided, with the sky being so clear and all, that he would go out and sun himself before the world awoke and work had to be done. What an unfortunate notion. It was on this day, when the sky was clearer than it had ever been, that the pear, sitting out in the sun, his neck grown long, his lower body raindrop-shaped, was thought to be a pear. And of course, it being so early, he had not yet had the chance to rub his skin against the leaves to make it shine like that of a green apple. And of course, he being a green apple for so long, had forgotten to be careful. Why, he was so close to the other green apples, having proved himself through numerous dead pears, that he believed for sure that the green apple saw him as one of their own. What an unfortunate notion. The traitor pair, sitting out in the sun, looking up at a clear sky, unaware of a few green apples drawing closer, his neck grown long, his lower body raindrop-shaped, was yanked off the tree and thrown against the rock, just like any other pair.